In the lively city of Chicago, Ryan Mitchell, a young professional in his late 20s, often found himself puzzled when relationships that started with warmth, laughter, and promise would suddenly cool down. He was ambitious, hardworking, and deeply cared for the women he dated, but something always seemed to shift after the initial excitement. One day, after another breakup where his girlfriend Anna told him she just didn't feel the spark anymore, Ryan decided he needed answers. He confided in his childhood friend, Daniel Carter, who lived in New York and worked as a relationship coach. Daniel patiently listened and explained something that Ryan had never considered. Often, women lose interest after intimacy not because of the act itself, but because of what follows, or doesn't follow. Daniel described how emotional connection, communication, and consistency were the real foundations of long-term attraction. He told Ryan that when women sense a lack of attentiveness afterward, it creates a feeling of disconnection, leading them to pull away. Determined to understand more, Ryan flew to Los Angeles for a business conference where he met Jessica Parker, an insightful marketing executive. They quickly hit it off, enjoying long conversations about travel, ambitions, and values. Unlike before, Ryan was mindful of Daniel's advice. Instead of rushing things, he focused on listening, showing genuine curiosity about Jessica's dreams, and making sure she felt valued beyond the physical aspects of their relationship. Jessica noticed the difference and appreciated how Ryan respected her boundaries while still showing warmth. Their connection deepened not because of instant passion, but because Ryan showed he cared about her as a whole person. But Ryan's journey didn't end there. Back in Chicago, he began reflecting on his past relationships, with women like Emily from Boston, who once told him she felt invisible after the excitement faded, or Sophia from Dallas, who felt that he was too distracted by work to nurture their bond. Each memory was like a puzzle piece, teaching him that women often lose interest when they feel a man's efforts stop once he wins their attention. Determined to grow, Ryan started reading books on psychology, attending workshops on emotional intelligence, and even journaling about his patterns. Months later, he reconnected with Jessica when she visited Chicago for a project. This time, Ryan was more intentional. He planned thoughtful dates around the city, walking along Navy Pier, exploring art exhibits at the Art Institute, and sharing deep conversations at cozy cafes. Jessica admired his consistency and how he checked in with her feelings instead of assuming everything was fine. Slowly, trust grew stronger between them. For the first time, Ryan realized that attraction wasn't about quick highs but steady, meaningful efforts that made the other person feel seen, heard, and secure. When Jessica expressed doubts, wondering if long distance could ever work, Ryan didn't dismiss her feelings. Instead, he reassured her by creating a plan where they would alternate visits and schedule weekly video calls. His willingness to compromise and prioritize her needs built confidence in their relationship. Jessica opened up about her own fears of being taken for granted, sharing stories of past relationships that ended because men stopped putting in effort after the initial charm wore off. Ryan listened without judgment, and that simple act of empathy made Jessica feel understood in a way she hadn't experienced before. The turning point came during a quiet evening at Chicago's Millennium Park. They sat under the glowing lights of the city skyline, talking about life, dreams, and what they valued most in a partner. Jessica confessed that the reason she had been hesitant at first was that she wanted to be sure Ryan wouldn't change once the newness wore off. Ryan looked her in the eyes and said, "I don't want you to just be a part of my life temporarily. I want to build something lasting with you." His sincerity melted away her doubts, and from that night on, their bond grew stronger than ever. Through his journey, Ryan learned that the key to keeping a woman interested wasn't about grand gestures or smooth lines. It was about showing up consistently, being emotionally available, and continuing to court her even after the relationship began. Women lose interest when they feel undervalued or when a man stops nurturing the emotional bond. But when a man invests time, empathy, and consistency, the connection becomes deeper than fleeting attraction. By the time Jessica's project ended and she returned to Los Angeles, their relationship had blossomed into something real. Ryan no longer feared the old pattern of distance after intimacy. Instead, he knew exactly how to maintain the spark, by treating Jessica with the same care, respect, and enthusiasm as he did on the very first day they met. In the end, Ryan realized that intimacy was not the peak of a relationship but just one step in the journey. The true test was what came after. Whether he could make a woman feel secure, valued, and loved for who she truly was. And so what once felt like a mystery finally became clear. Women don't lose interest because of closeness itself, but because they crave the reassurance that closeness will be matched with genuine lasting care. For Ryan, that truth didn't just fix his relationships. It transformed the way he loved, forever.